When we have you versus you, most likely the you that you're versing is the person from your past. It's the one with the bad habits. It's the one with the lack of discipline, motivation that you're trying to be better than. So this is your present self and this is your past. You're clashing with them, right? You want to overcome this person. The problem is with that mentality, you're looking at this past as a problem. You're looking at your past self as a mistake. And that is not how we should look at ourselves when we're trying to improve. And why I say that is because when we make our mistakes in our past, it's all for a reason. Mistakes teach us something and we can learn from them, and from there we grow. But if you look at your past self as complete wrong with complete mistakes and you want to forget it, you want to leave that in the past, you're going to go into another area of your life and meet something or someone that triggers your past, and you're not going to know what to do. You're not going to know how to react. Let's think about the Super Bowl, right? So at the end of that night, one team was going home celebrating with victory and people patting their back and giving them love and support. And then another team was going home with shame and, feeling like a failure, even though they worked and trained just as hard as the other team. And it's because they're in competition with each other, and obviously there can only be one winner. And why I'm saying that is I used to be very immersed in sports, the sports culture, the competition when I was in track and cross country. And I started to realize that me versing myself wasn't healthy. With track, the whole point of it is that you're beating your scores. You're beating your past race time. And in a sense, yes, you're improving your speed. You're improving by getting faster. Then I just started to realize as I kept training really hard and being so disciplined, I was losing sight of the passion behind track and running, and became less fun. It was all about versing myself, being better than myself from yesterday. When we come against ourselves like that and see our past as an enemy, we can never truly grow. We can never truly heal from the past. With health and fitness, like I'm gonna give you an example. If I saw myself, my past self, there were times in my life in my past that I'm not proud of with the decisions that I made for my health. But I never look at myself like, oh, I never want to do that again, or I never want to think about that again. I think about that and I remember the times where I beat myself up in the past and I was so horrible to myself, as a reminder that I'm never going to do that again, but in a way that comes from compassion. Like I look back at myself sometimes and I feel bad. I feel bad for putting myself through what I put myself through, but it's not like I look at it like I want to erase it. I never want to erase my past. And I suggest and I encourage that the same thing for you. You shouldn't erase your past. It's the reason why you are the way you are today. And even if that means you don't like parts of your past, that means you have to learn how to heal from that, and that so that you can learn what you did wrong to do it the right way now. And so when we do that, when we look at our past as a way to learn from it instead of to compete against it, it becomes a you and you. You're working with yourself. You are your teammate, not your competitor. And I think the you versus you is also like, to build us up, like, you're your biggest competition in the mirror, all of that. I literally said the same thing to myself when I started my fitness journey. But as I have been walking through this journey, I realize I'm not against myself. I'm for myself. I'm on my team. And I'm going to embrace the faults that I made. I'm going to embrace the mistakes that I made. And I'm learning. And I'm learning why I did that. And I'm applying different ways to not make the same mistakes. I'm trying to figure out different paths, different routines, different habits, how to change the habits that I made in the past. I'm making sure that I don't repeat that. And if I do, I'm acknowledging that, accepting it, and then not trying to repeat it again, or not beating myself so much about it, because we're human. We make mistakes. We repeat mistakes. Just because you made a mistake and you think that you learn from it and you think that you're not going to make it again, and if you do, like, that's human, and it's okay. It's okay to make a mistake and make it again. But you don't want to keep doing that. You don't want to keep making it a pattern. And I don't know, I just been feeling like talking about this topic because it's not the best kind of mindset to have a you versus you mentality. It's just not coming from a right place. When you're versing yourself, you're saying you don't You want that past, you want your past to lose. You want your past self to lose. And whether whether you like it or not, your past is still a part of you. You can't delete yourself from the past. But that doesn't mean you can't manage yourself. That doesn't mean you can't catch yourself. Like, there are parts of me from the past that I'm not proud of, but I'm aware of them and I know how to control how that makes me feel. If you're in a state right now in your health and fitness journey and there's just like, you don't like yourself right now, you're unhappy with how you are, and I really encourage you to take time into how you can use what you're doing maybe wrong for yourself, maybe what you're not taking care of, and use that as motivation to keep your future self accountable. Keep the person that the person that you want to be tomorrow has to learn from the person you are today. So when we take on this you and you mentality, we're respecting our past selves, regardless if we don't even like who we were in the past. We're still respecting that, because in that moment in the past, that was us. We did what we did. Maybe we weren't aware of the consequences. Maybe we just were feeling low and then we did something that we were not proud of. Whatever it is, we are accepting that person because they're us. I'm making this very general and very vague, and so you can get an idea of how that looks like to be on your team and to not just always be against yourself. Because, think about it. Think about a team, like a sports team. Imagine you're reversing your own teammate. Would you end up winning? Probably not. You want to make sure that you and your teammates are on the same page, that you guys know the drill, that you guys know how to deal with the competition. So it's the same thing. You and your body and your mind are all one team. And if you feel like your past self is an enemy, then the habits that you had over there, the things that you did in your past, they may end up becoming triggers for you, because you're looking at them as no-nos, as restrictions, instead of acknowledging them, instead of dealing with them, instead of learning how to not do it in the future, instead of learning how to not be triggered by these things in the future. It's very important that we are acknowledging our faults, that we are taking accountability of them, and that we're doing things to strengthen our willpower and our persistence and not repeating them or learning how to manage them, so that in the future, when something or someone else comes in and maybe reminds us of our past selves, we don't act out, we don't lash out, because we knew how to manage it in the first place. So for the sake of this video becoming too long, I just hope that you can maybe start thinking about ways that you do see yourself, your past self, as an enemy, and how you can reframe that perspective of yourself, because it's very important that when you try to change for yourself, that you're accepting of every part of yourself, your past, your present, and then your future. So, yep, that was it. I hope you enjoyed, and I really hope that you can take something from here and apply it to your lifestyle and your situation. Okay, bye. Don't you love this wallpaper? It's so cute.